Today is July 19th. Welcome on into Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey, brought to you each and every day by Royal Banks, Missouri and Munganass St. Louis Acura. Remember, the All-Star break is over. Everybody kicks off the second half of their season tonight. Cardinals head down to Atlanta for the first of three against the very good Braves team that, much like the Cardinals, looking for a lot of help also at the All-Star or at the trade deadline coming up here in a few weeks.
Obviously, the Acuna injury hit them very hard. The very best player. I know he's a leadoff guy, but he was clearly their very best player.
And Spencer Strider.
Pardon me?
And Spencer Strider, too,
Yeah.
their best pitcher, yeah.
And so the fact that they lost their two best guys yet are still playing winning baseball and competing is a testament to that organization. Marcell Ozuna, the former Cardinal, is really having a monster year. He hits 3, 4, or 5 for them, depending. The bottom of their order has not been very good, but there's a lot of that going around the big league. So it doesn't necessarily make them any worse than anybody else.
Yeah, they are a team that will be looking to add a lot of offense coming up here at the All-Star break. I know one name that's been linked to them is Jazz Chisholm, a guy that you like a whole lot from the Marlins, and I don't think the Marlins are the kind of organization that would care to trade within their division. I just don't. I think they'll just get whatever they can get when it comes to a return on a guy. So we will see what who they target here in the next few weeks. Both teams should be well rested coming off the All-Star break. Cardinals more than anybody else. The fact that they had one All-Star who opted not to even participate in the game on Tuesday. So nobody should be tired or worn out going into this game tonight for the Cardinals. And the Cardinals also were able to adjust their rotation to give themselves the best possible start to the second half of the year. The rotation came out yesterday. Cardinals announced that they will go with Sonny Gray tonight, Kyle Gibson on Saturday, and Miles Michaelis again on Sunday. And you would think, if you're just hearing that and you're thinking the Cardinals are going up against the Braves, you're thinking, great, we're going to have Sonny Gray against Ronaldo Lopez or Chris Sale for tonight. Nope. That is not the way the Braves are going to go about it. Rammer, you and I were talking about this in the pre-show meeting. The Cardinals tonight will face Spencer Schwellenbach. On Saturday, they will face Charlie Morton. On Sunday, they will face Max Fried. No Ronaldo Lopez, no Chris Sale this weekend for the Cardinals against the Braves. Explain this to me.
Well, I don't know. The only way to do that would be to be in the meetings and figure out why they wanted to do that. You'd like to think you want to get your best players, your best starting pitchers, the most starts on a season, but only a couple of days different. It probably, in the end, only means one start. But I think it is curious. And if we were in Atlanta, I think it'd be a reasonable question. Well, I know it would be a reasonable question to ask. You see what the Cardinals did, and it also shows you why the Cardinals are lacking in the rotation. If you're trying to win a playoff series and that's your first three, you're okay with the first one, okay with the second one, and then it's a big drop off.
Yeah, I'm not upset with it as much as I would enjoy watching Chris Sale pitch in 2024. I'm okay if it's not against the Cardinals with how well he's been going since being traded this past off season. So Cardinals going with their best three, and Rammer, as we've kind of taken this past week too to reset and kind of look ahead to the next couple weeks with the trade deadline coming up. Has there been any names that have popped up in your as far as your I guess want wish list for the Cardinals this past week?
Well, I like both the pitchers from the White Sox, Crochet and Fetty. I like Anderson from the Angels. He kind of reminds you more of when you picked up Montgomery, but his season's a little bit better than that. But I just saw a report that put Eovaldi from the Rangers
That's
in their crosshairs. And I'm going, whoa, if you can get that deal, that's the deal. But I want to be the first on to say it. The guy's always injured. When he's not injured, he's as good as anybody, but he's always injured. So, not that we get a lot of feedback while we're doing these things live, but I would tell Cardinal fans they need to make their voices known. If you don't want a guy because he's always hurt, or do you say, no, you got to roll the dice? I think those will be the two camps of Cardinal fans, don't you?
Yeah, and Rammer, I came this close to actually texting you yesterday because I knew that we weren't doing a show, and I was kind of looking through some of the names that are out there as far as the trade block, and Eovaldi was the name that jumped to the top of my list, and I thought how nice it would be of the Rangers to do that and make that deal with the Cardinals for how, we gave them Jordan Montgomery last year and they won a World Series. This would be a nice way to kind of repay that this year with Nathan Eovaldi, and he would be that perfect guy. We've talked about it a few times. You need that guy that starts that game 2 after Sonny Gray. Eovaldi would fit right in there with this Cardinal rotation right now.
I don't have recent numbers to back it up, but in my mind, when he's healthy, and you got to mention it every time you say his name, when he's healthy, I think Eovaldi's better.
He might be, and I would also say that he has the playoff experience, but I would have I think that you went out and you got Sonny Gray to be that number 1, right?
I'm sorry, say that again.
I said you went out and you got Sonny Gray to be that number 1 for you, so I think that's where he comes in and he gets that start. Since June, by the way, Rammer, as I look through some of Nathan Eovaldi's stats, he has only had real one hiccup since the month of June. That was a game against Seattle, went 3 innings in that one, and gave up 4 runs over 75 pitches there. So as everything else though has looked very good. His month of June, 28 innings pitched with an ERA of 4.4. So far in July, 3 starts there, 21 innings pitched and a 1.29 ERA in the month of July. So he has been very, very good for his 3 starts so far this month, looking heading towards the trade deadline.
But of the names that I mentioned, those 4 names, he would be at the top of the list.
Yes, absolutely.
And then I think if I had to rank them for preference, I think I'd go Crochet, Fetty, Anderson. So that would be my 1, 2, 3, 4 on my wish list.
We will, we'll be talking plenty about this over the next couple weeks as the trade deadline inches closer, and we know the Cardinals will be looking for pitching and possibly a bat to go out and play center field for them over for the final few months of the season.
With Nootbaar playing now, and Ciani had acquitted himself very well. I know you're right, a right-handed hitter that could play some out there. For some reason, in the last 2-3 weeks, I feel like the center field part has become less of a priority. And just get a nice right-handed bat in there, even if it was a DH and Contreras needed to catch most of the time, to get that other bat in there and give you even more balance for the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
What about a blockbuster with the Rangers?
Getting who?
Eovaldi and right-handed power.
You really want Garcia back, don't you?
Well, you were the one who brought up right-handed power.
I know.
Give me somebody that you would like that's better and you can go get.
You okay? You mentioned blockbuster. How about as you prepare for the future, Vladimir Guerrero Jr.?
I love him. I'd be great. It'd be great.
DHs and he becomes your first baseman of the future. If and that would be one. Okay, if we're going to sit here and we're going to talk about the possibility of Jordan Walker, the Cardinals moving on from Jordan Walker, would you trade Vladimir Guerrero? Would you trade Jordan Walker if you got back Vladimir Guerrero Jr.?
I'd want to look at the numbers a little bit harder, but initially I say absolutely.
Yeah, I'm saying he would be part of that deal. Yeah, Jordan Walker would be in the package for that.
Yeah, and I don't know that it's probably accurate, but I would change the phraseology a little bit, ready to move on from. But I think just because you move somebody doesn't mean you don't like them anymore,
Yeah.
but that you feel like you need whatever that target player is, you need him more now.
Yeah.
And so I don't think the Cardinals want to move on from Jordan Walker, but there's a lot of guys, a lot of young guys, Gorman, Walker, Newt Barr's not as young. What is Newt? 26 going on 27.
To be that not young anymore.
Yeah, I think Sajasi, Herrera, I think you throw all those guys in there as here are some of the young pieces that we like. We like them, but as if I can make a hockey reference, as the great GM Ron Caron would say, you have to give to get.
We will we'll work on that deal. We'll put the pieces together in order to get Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in St. Louis by the trade deadline, and look at what that takes for the future to keep him here in St. Louis. After that, we have about 2 weeks or so to get this done and send our proposal into Mo to get that approved and up to Toronto. So
we both just said it. He already knows what we think.
Right.
You don't realize the influence you have.
And you know what? I mentioned before how nice it would be for the Rangers to repay us for Jordan Montgomery last year. The Blue Jays, we gave them Paul DeYoung last year. So, again, it's you scratch my back, I scratch yours with these trades.
Yeah, I think that's very comparable.
This is Daily Cards Live, brought to you each and every day by Munganat St. Louis Acura and also Rammer Royal Banks. Royal Banks of Missouri, where better service means better banking. Just talked to the folks at Royal Banks the other day. I know I mentioned to folks I recently did a refi on my home mortgage. Very, very helpful, extremely helpful, better deal than I had. They made it simple. They made it easy. Folks, they'll treat you the same as they treat everybody else, like you're coming into your hometown bank. Royal Banks of Missouri, where better service means better banking. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. He's Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. Talk to you next time right here on Daily Cards Live.
Munganat St. Louis Acura is making room for the 2025 MDX, so that means great deals for you on the 2024 MDX. We have over 100 2024 MDX models in stock, and you get financing as low as 3.9% for up to 60 months. Or you can lease a new MDX for just $559 per month for 36 months. Or get the MDX technology model for just $589 per month for 36 months. Munganat St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you.